Hello everyone and welcome. This is my first video here, just cooking with AI. A little bit about myself. I'm just cybersecurity professor. Everyone talking about AI. We teach AI to students in college and all this good stuff. So I was wondering, it's like, hey, let's see if AI can give me some good recipes and they actually come out good. I have tried a few out and they've been working pretty good. So here I am today. We're all a little bit under the weather, cold, flu, all that stuff's going around here in January, first of the year. We're all getting over it. That's why my voice may sound a little off. I may break up a little bit, but hopefully you'll bear with me. So I'm doing a homemade creamy chicken noodle soup recipe. Great for this time of year. I always get all my ingredients out first. Of course, I got carrots, onion, celery. They call for cloves of garlic, but I always use minced garlic. A teaspoon is one clove. Got my butter, got my noodles. Everything for my broth, some flour, some heavy cream and milk. Ain't got out yet, but they're just right in the refrigerator. I got my chicken pretty much thawed out. Normally I'll use the frozen chicken breast, but got some at sale at the local grocery store, so we bought a big pack. So here it just recommends the butter, the olive oil. Put it in the pot, turn it on medium high. If you got the dials, I found medium high is probably around a 7, 8, somewhere like that on there. That's 10 to where I put it. This stove here, this front burner actually has two different eyes you can activate, a small ring or a large ring. So I got to be careful with it. First time I did cook a little bit too much. Chicken came out a little bit tough. So I got to make sure I turn it down just one eye instead of the two. So keep that in mind sometimes. I learned to kind of watch this during the simmer phase. Last time I covered it and simmer it for 25 minutes. Came back, it was boiling, which made the chicken a little tough. So you don't want it boiling when you get to that part. So according to here, the steps you got, 5 steps to get this done. First step's prepping, got everything cut up, done. So we're going to add the butter, the olive oil. Once the butter melts in there, I'll add all the onions, carrots, and celery. We'll do 6-7 minutes stirring, letting the onions soften up. That's the main thing. The carrots will soften up in the broth and the broil. Just the onions, what we're worried about right here, get it softened up. That 6 minutes, something like that, 6 to 8 minutes, somewhere in that neighborhood. We'll add the garlic. Again, 1 teaspoon of garlic replaced with 1 garlic clove is what I found. Works out very well. Pretty sure I googled it at one point and that's how I came to that. This is a big pot. It holds a little over 6 quarts, 6.5 quarts. So this is a big one I like using for these noodles, and it'll about fill this whole thing up. So hamburger stew I've cooked in here. The chicken noodles now we'll do in here. I can do a chili in here, so I got these big pots. And you can see our rack here, we got several different sizes. Got my lasagna bowls, my big bowls uncooked stuff, my pots, pans, all that good stuff. My other one's in the sink here. I'll probably do my Alfredo with tomorrow. So now I got this on. Thanks to my brother-in-law. Shout out to David. This is a sprayer for olive oil. Fantastic. Even has a little lid, pulls over so I can pour some in. Once this is done, I shred the chicken. I'll be done with this cutting board. I'll get all this put into the dishwasher. Then once we're all done eating, we can put our bowls and our cups from this morning, our coffee and teas, and we'll just go ahead and run the load. We'll be ready to go. I'll have comments on as it goes through. If it picks up a lot of people commenting, I'll use AI to weed out the comments and get the overall themes. I really don't go through and read a lot of comments. You have to forgive me on that. These first few videos I might. Eventually I'll get in there where you can email me or something like that to contact me if you need to, but it's pretty straightforward. So I'm gonna leave this running. At this point, a lot of this stuff will be edited out. Just depends on what I put online. A lot of things will be cut through. We'll have a full version on YouTube if you want to watch the whole thing. May have to get me either a little GoPro on my chest or something so you can see what I'm doing as I'm cooking, or set up something. We'll see as we go. But for now, that's what we got. We'll start getting stuff cleaned up. Just watch. We'll be back in 20 minutes. According to this, we've been going 42 minutes, so another 30 minutes left, and we're gonna be pretty much done. It's about a 2. I'm gonna set my timer on here. AI told me 20 minutes, so I got a timer set for 20 minutes. So I'll be, running around, sitting there playing games or something, I'm sure, responding to emails, students, whatever I got. I like doing a little bit of gaming on the side. I say a little bit. I like gaming quite a bit. Did a lot of gaming. Nothing competitively, just like goofing off. Cold days like this, can't be outside really doing much on the farm. We put hay and everything in the field yesterday. got all that fun stuff done. We're all under the weather, so I'm not going to go out there when it's kind of a rainy, drizzly, cold day. You know, forget that. We're already just getting over what we got. This recipe called for either 1.5 to 2 pounds of chicken. That pack I had was over 3.5 pounds, but as I stated earlier, it's just going to be used for Alfredo here in the next couple of days. So I'm just going to put a couple of these up, just put them in a little container, they can cool off, add them to the refrigerator later. That way I already got the meat ready for Alfredo. I'll have to cook it anyways, but save me all that time later on. You know it's good Southern cooking and Southern family when you got just leftover Tupperware from lunch meat containers or something like that from the store. So here we go. Let's see. All right. Just want to set these over here out of the way, let them cool off. I'm going to throw them in the fridge when I'm done. But just wants me to cut it up. I'm going to check. Yep, everything's been done. So I don't do a whole lot of, a little bit of shredding, mainly more cutting. I don't mind having the chunks in there. I know a classic chicken noodles, you know, this shredded thing that you get, a little bit of chicken, a little bit of everything, but to me the chunks work just as well. Doing their spoots. See if you can. That's Spooter. That's Spot. One of our farm dogs. His sister's in there laid upside down on the couch, being a giant ham. Funny enough, they're brother and sister from the same litter, and couldn't be night and day any different. Spot here, the male, he's never met a stranger. Someone pulls up, open up their door, say get in, he's jumping in with you. Or the other one, she sees someone for the first time, she sounds like she wants to bite their head off. Heck, sometimes when I'm outside too long and come in, she'll act like I haven't opened the door. So David set a mission to break her, to make her friendly, but it was Megan that finished it off, turned her into a friendly dog, because even for a while, people that come over all the time, she still wouldn't warm up to, wouldn't let them touch. Each time I do a recipe, I know what I did wrong the first time. I make a few changes. Hamburger stew, I doubled up the meat, thought it'd be good. It's probably too much meat compared to the vegetable ratio. So either I need to make a super pot, or cut back on the hamburger to the 1.5 pounds instead of like a 3 pound like I did last time. And that's the good thing. You can go in wherever you found you did wrong, remind chatting that when you get done, like, hey, didn't have enough broth, add into the recipe, redo the recipe where I had a little bit more broth, and they'll reprint it out. Instead of 6 cups, went with 8 cups this time. So it's going to come out very nice, have more of that chicken flavor in it, the chicken soup, the liquid part, especially if you're under the weather, you like to sip on. Just going to serve with some crackers and some butter to dip in. That's going to be it. I think everything's about done here. The final thing left to do is get a spoonful for my taste tester. She's out there. It's always weird in our family. Seems like our son will get sick first. I'm second. She's the last one to get sick. So it goes through a week and a half cycle where one of us is sick for some reason during that time. Yeah, that's not bad at all. I say that again. My taste buds are not overly where I can taste all the small details. I can taste if it tastes good. It tastes good to me, but I let my son and my wife determine if it's a repeatable meal, because Sometimes I'll eat stuff, but if I have an option for something else, I'll go with something else. But stuff like this is pretty good. I'll eat, 2 days in a row. Let me take this in there for a final taste test and we're done. And then that's going to be a day. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, like I said, comment. At first, few comments I'll probably watch. If it gets where it's a lot of comments, I'll run through AI, let it pull out main themes, questions, have it respond the same way. But for the most part, that's what this is for. We're using technology to help us cooking. Nothing fancy you need, no special ingredients, utensils. Most of it's stuff you have in the house, flour. Here in the South, everyone has potatoes, onions. It seems like carrots a lot of times. So you can build a flavor profile. I even had a print out a grocery list for me. I say print out, just had it on my phone. That's what I used when I went to the grocery store. Got what extra seasons I typically needed. Got some extra celery I didn't have. It's one of those, sometimes you get celery, it's gone that week. Sometimes it sits in there until it rots. But now that I'm cooking more, I do go through it a lot more. But I do appreciate you watching. I said it's Cooking with AI. We're going to keep doing recipes, keep pulling up different ingredients, meals, or not really ingredients, but different recipe styles. Basic stuff we either cook in a crock pot or here on the stove. I'm going to try to do 3 or 4 of these a week. We'll keep going. Hopefully you'll like it. Just follow me. Keep in touch, If you got any questions, comments, as we go, I'll start taking recommendations on meals to try. I'm doing a little bit of everything, full meals. I'm going to be honest, most of the side dishes, if it comes to green beans, peas, stuff like that, greens, I'm going to open up a can, heat them up, and that's what I'm going to do. Food's cooked, so we're good to go. See y'all next time.